This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's get back to Dylan. He talks about in his book that his first tryout with WWE, when he finally has an opportunity to appear at his favorite wrestling company, he maybe runs into a little bit of trouble. It doesn't go all that well because he's backstage sort of breaking proper etiquette, but he probably didn't know that. But one of the things he's doing that maybe catches the attention of the head of security, Jimmy Tillis, is he's pestering people for pictures to the point that Jimmy has to come over and threaten to take his camera away and kick him out of backstage if he doesn't stop. Is that a fairly common thing with young guys or guests backstage where they just don't know that, hey, this is not cool. This is not proper etiquette?
Can be. And you just don't know. And then that's one of the things, if you're ever invited backstage, don't start taking pictures and asking people for pictures and shit like that, because that's our workspace. And Dylan was so excited that, yeah, he was taking pictures with everybody that he could because he's meeting all these people. They're nice to him. So he thinks that they must be his friend. And he wanted to get his picture taken and quickly went from being his friend to, who the fuck is this guy taking all the pictures, man? Get him out of here. Because they didn't know who he was. Probably most of them didn't even know why he was there. So, yes, he still had quite a bit to learn.
The initial sketch he shot ends up not being used on Raw, but he did get to meet Fit Finlay and winds up getting a shot at being Fit's leprechaun. And he said initially he was asked to do an Irish accent, but just couldn't pull it off. Do you remember the search for the leprechaun or what the original plan was for Finlay and Dylan?
Looking to give Dave a little bit more personality and kind of give the audience a reason to care. And if they didn't, I think that sometimes people looked at Fit, and Fit was a straightforward wrestler, great in the ring, but the personality side of things, he needed a little bit of help on. Some would say he could come across as very dry. So wanted something to open up and see his personality, because much like Brad Armstrong, Fit Finlay outside of the ring is one of the funniest guys you're ever going to meet. Quick-witted, smart-ass, great stories, and a funny son of a gun. Very creative. But when he would go out to wrestle, he went out to wrestle like a straightforward wrestler. So it was just a way to lighten Fit up some and give another segment of the audience someone to relate to.
Talk to me a little bit about why Vince wanted a leprechaun.
Who wouldn't want a leprechaun?
I'm just curious, in the creative meeting, you guys are all sitting around that big ass conference table we've seen a ton of times on TV, and Vince sits back in his chair, takes his glasses off. God damn. You know what Raw needs?
I said, leprechaun, sir. How about little fucker, in a great jacket? He's got a hat. You're welcome.
My goodness.
I think we need a fucking midget. But everybody wants a leprechaun. Do you know anybody in your circle that doesn't want a leprechaun? Because if you don't, you're weird.
Well, the guy who helps us out with social media, Dave Hancock, he is deathly afraid of little people. And we exploited that a few years ago. You and I did when we,
exploit, torture, whatever.
Yeah. We didn't tell him that Dylan was coming. And then next thing you know, he just jumps in Hancock's lap and Hancock has a freak out moment. And it's funny because as we're torturing Hancock, Dylan tells us that once upon a time, he learned that Big Show had the same phobia of little people. And a lot of the guys had a lot of fun with that over the years.
Well, Big Show and William Regal both had
oh yeah, I forgot about Regal.
Yeah, I had a phobia, and it was just they would get weird. They would get weirded out a little bit.
To the point they would even tease Dylan, I think Regal did, that he didn't have a soul. Like this is your God's mistake. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, well, Dylan deserves everything he gets.
He makes his official debut on the SmackDown.
I love that little bastard.
Well, who doesn't? Yeah, that's worth mentioning. We're having a lot of fun with Dylan today. A, because it's his birthday, but B, he was really one of the first guys to come out and support us on social media. Very quickly followed us both on social and started DMing us, telling us how much he enjoyed the show. And when we announced our first live show in Orlando, he was the first one to say, "Can I come?" So big fan of his work, and obviously very thankful and appreciative of the relationship we have, thanks to the podcast, or at least I am, because he's been sort of supporting us from the very beginning.
I was hoping he would go away once we started the podcast.
Yeah, I get that. Well, hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.